This year, the UK is going to hold a referendum to see if Britain is going to stay in the European Union or not. What's all this going on in Europe? Not much of a union anymore. We already heard about the Greece maybe leaving the union, the Grexit. Then you had the Sprexit and the Prexit and the Flexit. Everybody wants to get out of the union. Other people want to get into the union. In, out, in, out. What's going on? Reminds me of a song we used to sing in school in England. The Okey Dokey. You put your left leg in, your left leg out. In, out, you shake it all about. You do the okey dokey and you turn about. That's what the European Union is all about.
Welkom bij de 16e aflevering van Fans of Flanders, seizoen 4. Op de plank deze week. Tanguy Hazevoets uit Congo maakt het mooie weer als Temetan. Diane uit Australië geeft een rondleiding in haar Brugse crib. We werpen een licht op Art Nouveau-architect Victor Horta. En Rio de Janeiro viert carnaval op zijn Olsters. Speciaal voor expats, maar ook voor jullie, gelukzakken van bij ons. Wat vind jij van de muziek deze week? Hij komt van onze special guest Temetan, een muzikale duizendpoot en verhalenverteller.
Toen ik universiteit begon, hadden ze mij een dictafoon gekocht. Je weet wat een dictafoon is, hoor. En het was om de lessen op te nemen, maar eigenlijk met die dictafoon ben ik mijn eerste demo's beginnen op te nemen.
Tanguy woont in Brussel, maar groeide op in de Congolese hoofdstad Kinshasa. Als Temetan, zijn muzikale alter ego, vertelt hij broeierige verhalen uit zijn thuisland.
Ik ben in een gemengde familie opgegroeid. Ik zat intussen Belgische en Congolese tradities en waarden. Het is niet altijd evident om tot een bepaalde groep te behoren, denk ik. Sinds ik in België ben aangekomen, sinds basisschool, is er echt een zoektocht geweest. Ja, ik denk dus dat die zoektocht nog altijd bezig is. Maar dat ik sinds ik mijn muziek beter kan bepalen, kan ik mij ook beter beschrijven.
Une pluie de ça, ce n'était pas difficile de s'ouvrir à n'importe quoi. Oui, mais quelquefois, je remonte le fil et nous voit dans l'eau du tilapia. Wow, 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 matititi, matititi, matititi.
Het nummer gaat over dus les matiti. Dus dat is een woord, dat is een Lingala woord voor hoge gras. Onze weekend eigenlijk gingen we niet naar Noordzee, we gingen naar de lac Tilapia. En rond die lac Tilapia waren die matiti, die hoge grassen. Mijn moeder vertelde ons dat wij niet te ver mochten gaan zwemmen omdat er krokodillen waren. Het gaat over die weekenden, die herinneringen. Ja, dat is mijn foto toen ik de eerste keer in Japan was. Zo, altijd met mijn rugzak. Ja, reizen is echt belangrijk om mijn batterijen op te laden. Qua invloeden, om volledig in creativiteit bezig te zijn. Ik denk dat Brussel mij beïnvloedt. Als je naar die Portugese wijk, naar die Braziliaanse wijk, naar de Congolese wijk rondloopt, reis je eigenlijk ook in Brussel. Ik hoop dat mijn muziek andere mensen doet reizen, een beetje dromen, een goede positieve vibe en al die dingen.
Tijd voor een snelle Vlaamse update.
Je suis mon camouflage sur la porte des pieds, petit frère passage. Je cherche ma voie, je viens m'abriter et puis deviens ton chat. Mais j'ai de l'or au doigt, crinière de lion, je suis né à Kinshasa. Améthyste, je ne sais pas bien pourquoi je danse quand j'entends ta voix. Nanana.
Today, the Belgian government has announced that they are going to start a hotline for parents who are concerned that their children are becoming radicalized. Hello? Helpline for parents who are concerned that their children are becoming radicalized. How may I help you? It's my son. He's always on his laptop. He doesn't drink alcohol anymore, and he's growing a beard. Does he drink coffee or tea? He only drinks lattes. Lattes? Oh, he's not radicalized. He's just a hipster. Phone us again when he gets the man bun. Bye.
Fans of Flanders ging langs bij Diane en Sven. Een kunstzinnig Australisch koppel dat onverwacht strandde in Brugge.
Hi, I'm Diane. I'm an Australian living in Bruges. We have a studio gallery right in the centre of the old town. Come inside. Here we have this suitcase that we arrived in Bruges with, and we came to stay for 3 days en route to London, and it was snowing and it was beautiful. And we said, oh, we could live here for a year. 11 years later, we're still here. We have actually quite a collection of suitcases for the time of our stay. Red suitcases, and we have Czech suitcases, and so yeah, we have a lot of suitcase stories. So one of the things that we have in the house that reminds us of Australia is this gorgeous emu egg, and it was painted by Aboriginals. They blow it out through the holes, and then it's been painted by an Aboriginal, and it's actually a whale, beautiful whale. So during the day, Sven paints, and here he is. He's just doing a new painting. So it's going to be a flower painting. It's going to be a very light, poppy scene. The artist doesn't really like me making comments, and he has the final say. But then I don't put it on the website if I don't like it. Just kidding. So here we have a piece of art that's called Red Ned. And Red Ned symbolises the bushranger Ned Kelly. And he was a famous bank robber gang. He had a gang of guys. And what they made a metal mask, and it was black, and he had a little slit. So sometimes if you were wandering down the stairs and you look at the painting and you go, hi, Red Ned, and you immediately think of that area of Australia, and it's good having pieces to remind you of where you come from.
Have you ever been down on?
So here we have our iconic outback Australian blue heeler and his drover, the drover and his blue heeler. Yeah, so the dog is really, really famous. And we have him having a cup of tea, which is the billy. This is called a billy, and you boil the water on the open fire. It's just a very iconic image of the outback drover. That's part of growing up in Australia, boiling the billy. Makes you homesick. We come out and have a bit of Australia, Shiraz from South Australia. It's got the little Aboriginal painting on it, which is really nice, and it's a 2013 Shiraz. That's a nice drop. Cheers. Here's Torben's painting. Thanks for letting us show our Australia in Bruges, and thanks. Bye. Ciao.
À mes 10, je ne sais pas bien pourquoi je danse quand j'entends ta voix. À mes 10, je ne sais pas bien pourquoi je danse quand j'entends ta voix. Raconte-moi que pour de longueur tu me donnes un bazooka. Je suis mon camouflage sur la porte des pieds, petit frère passage. Je cherche ma voie, je viens m'abriter et puis deviens ton chat. Mais j'ai de l'or au doigt, crinière de lion, je suis né à Kinshasa. À mes 10, je ne sais pas bien pourquoi je danse quand j'entends ta voix. À mes 10, je ne sais pas bien pourquoi je danse quand j'entends ta voix.
Tijd voor Chris en zijn taalrubriek Wablief. Ondertussen ook wel de Vlaamse Top Gear genoemd.
Hi.
You were waiting for this, weren't you? Another highly practical edition of Wablief. Now, we've talked about cars before, haven't we? About the double entendre there is in the expression to dive in the trunk with someone, met iemand in de koffer duiken. About the capot. Last week, we talked about pinkers and clignoteurs. Well, here's some more. Your headlights. You can switch these to high beam, you know, the ones you blind people with, or rabbits. In official Dutch, that should translate as grote lichten or big lights. But as you might have guessed, we don't use grote lichten. Why use 4 syllables when you can do it with only 1 or 2 and say vaars or varen? Now, don't get fooled by thinking that these lights go far. They do, but we got it from the French word phare. When going to our coast, you might also hear the word phare when people talk about a lighthouse. And that should come as no surprise, because in Flanders, all lighthouses are conveniently located near the shoreline and none inland. I told you, by far the most practical item we've ever had.
De branche en branche, croquer dans les anges, gronder les ondes.
The Belgian military are complaining that they're overworked. And that's because a lot of towns in Flanders are using the soldiers to do the jobs the police should be doing during this terror alarm. If this carries on, soldiers will become the new cheap labour in Belgium, doing all the dirty work that nobody else wants to do. Need to clean your windows? Get yourself a soldier. Doing your spring cleaning? Get yourself a soldier. Are you lonely? Soldiers of love.
Horta is een van de belangrijkste vertegenwoordigers van Art Nouveau. We namen een kijkje in zijn huis in Brussel. Dat werd omgedoopt tot het Horta Museum.
The first time I came here, I was surprised by the light. I think for me it's the main characteristic. It's the light, the color of the light. It gives a special atmosphere because it's filtered by those beautiful stained glass panels. It takes the color of the stained glass, but also all the colors present in the house, like all the wall paintings and the colors that you see on other materials on the floor, marbles, and it's this combination of materials and lights that makes it so special. Horta lived with his family, his servants, and then his employees of his studio. He built 2 different houses, one for his office with a separate entrance door, and then his own house, which is really different from all the other houses in the street. And he's not only an architect, but a designer, a decorateur, furniture designer, etc. But of course, if you look at all the details, you realize that he created all those forms, but he had wonderful craftsmen who executed it. Here in the house of Horta, we introduced actually the staircase in his living area because he wanted coherence between structure, plan, light, and so on. And he introduced a complete different way of spatial organization of a house. He wanted to really create a personal style, and he wanted to make a style based on rationalism. There was a time, quite some years, that nobody was interested in his architecture, and it's only in '63 that the house and his studio were listed as monument. Horta died in '47, so he must have been in his 80s, so he was quite old. At that time, he destroyed his archives. For him, the archives were not important. For him, the buildings were important. But for us, of course, we regret that all the drawings and details are lost.
Vorige week was het carnaval. En dat wou Rio de Janeiro natuurlijk voor geen geld ter wereld missen. Maar toen werd de stoet afgelast.
Today is the most important day of the year. It's Carnival, a tradition that I know very, very, very well. Are you ready? Let's go! I guess the parade will be spectacular. I'm waiting for the parade. Is this it? That's the parade. Where is the parade?
Er is vandaag geen. Het is geannuleerd wegens slecht weer. Er is geen stoet vandaag.
They canceled. No, but so I dressed like that for nothing.
Santé.
This isn't right. It's Carnival. We are actually supposed to be fun, to have fun. We should just go out there and take the street. Let's do it. Let's save Carnival. No parade, but it doesn't matter. Carnival in Belgium is amazing. See you next week. The scene that I'm going to play is from Jurassic Park.
Wow! Yeah.
Hurrah!